What's going on, y'all? I know I ain't on many platforms, but things like this is something that interests me that I would like to express with a lot of people that I deal with or talk to or what I go through every day. You're going to see a clip. I know y'all familiar with Dr. Umar, but these are conversations with having conversations with other black people. This is exactly how it goes with the brainwashing and the ignorance of not knowing who you are and the constant sellout of being a buffoon for a system that does not help everyone.
African American.
Sure you do.
I live in a country that moves forward together. And I say that as a Republican. We move forward together. Yes, we have individual struggles. Yes, we have struggles.
I'm talking
Yes, we
about
have. Yes, no. Yes, we have. We have. We have systematic. We have proportionality.
Finish in 15 seconds.
We have systematic struggles, and together as a country, moving forward to the.
Now, how can you sit there and admit to have systematic struggles, but at the same time going forward with the same people that already systematically destroyed you in the first place? In order to break this down, I'm tired of the uncle, I ain't gonna call him Uncle Tom, but the brainwash ass niggas selling you this fucking dream that we're going forward. In what direction? What community are they representing? What do they see that we don't see? What have I been looking at for the last 55 years of my life? Of nothing but blacks being targeted in every shape, form, or fashion. From the heroin to the crack to the alcohol to the cigarettes to the lack of jobs to the minimum wage to the way that they conduct and control on who get jobs, who don't get jobs, who get money, who don't get money, illegal loans, paying 3 times the amount for a car, paying 3 times the amount for a house, having stuff that you don't own. They just take what belongs to you. But still, you have people still defending the same system, the same people, the same white oligarchs from the KKK, Republicans, and the Democrats that have the power and utilize niggas for their agenda. We don't have freedom whatsoever. And every job in every political, in any, matter of fact, in any field a black person works in is either for the government or for somebody white.
Beat those struggles.
Really? So, based on what you said, I want you to give me examples of white folk, not individuals, but systematically. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know you can't wait to finish.
1 second answer.
Can I finish?
Go.
Okay, I'm going. Okay? You cannot name anything systematically done ever in this country by white people to equal the playing field for black folks.
The Civil Rights Act. Congress literally sits behind us. The Civil Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act.
Are you?
This nigga here is dumb as fuck. See, that's what wrong with indoctrinated ass niggas. See, you got niggas that's so smart till you're dumb. My grandma used to say that. You're so smart until you're stupid. Now the question was, what have whites collectively done to even out the playing field for black folks? Never have they done that. The civil rights was utilized to bring the homosexuals, the transgenders, and every other nationality in America. That's what the civil rights was considered for, especially after they took out. It wasn't for black people. And then here's another question. Why do blacks need a civil right bill to be treated equally in the first place? That's number one. Number two, people utilize these laws and these things that they said that's supposed to have been done. Even Juneteenth. that we supposed to be free as all that is a traditional lie. We have never been free. And to make it so bad, why should we be free on our own land? That's what people is not understanding. Why would they give the people that they land they stole an even playing field? That's the question that ask yourself that. Why? Why would they do it? But let's listen to Amos and Andy.
Are you aware?
Hey, can I?
White people are proud of you, son.
Scott Bolden.
Quick. I think the terminology and the narrative being used is a little misleading, not from you, but from this dialogue right here.
Okay.
You know, it's one thing to sympathize with the struggle. It's another one to empathize with the struggle. Very different. When you talk about marriage being a political choice, and that one of the arguments that you made that I tend to agree with is that if you don't marry a black woman, then she can never support and comfort and value your day-to-day struggle as a black man. That being said, I do think that the level of the rhetoric that you use in regard to your Pan-Africanism is difficult for many of us, quoting the mainstream, to get our arms around. But this issue about black men and white women in the civil rights struggle is not a new discussion. My mother was a civil rights activist in Chicago, and she would often complain privately that, one, you can't sleep white and talk black, if you will.
Now, intellectually, what he's trying to establish, which is on the same platform of still defending the system, he utilized a word saying by sympathizing and empathizing with the struggle. You got to do both. But he said mainstream. The mainstream people can't get on board with that because the mainstream people, if they say something that's out of line, then white people will remove them. They just took that joy away. Matter of fact, Martin and Joy, for overstepping their boundaries on what they say and how they say it. But they're controlled by this system because they know how far to go. Because they taught them a lesson on how far to go. But let's continue with the debate.
Well, and that's always been in the American African-American struggle with ourselves.
Yes,
the other thing is that we struggle with our own psychology about self-love and other ways. If we get our arms around that does make sense.
Okay. But you would have to say that you know 190 million people.
But you're being too
You would have to claim that.
Individuals don't matter.
You'd have to claim
No,
that.
go ahead.
And I agree with my brother's comments. Brother Scott, he brought up the Civil Rights Bill, but what he did not talk about in relation to the Civil Rights Bill is there were two words included in that bill that ultimately served to take away from black people what that bill was intended to deliver. They added gender and they added sexual orientation. And as a result of that, white women and homosexuals have been able to strip black America from the intended gains of the Civil Rights Act. So there was still racism in that bill if you will study that history.
So Umar, your question was, has anyone black ever systematically done, has anyone white ever systematically done anything?
Systematically. White America.
So LBJ would be the answer for that, because that's the government.
No, you didn't hear the question. No, you didn't. You're so quick to defend white folks that you're not listening.
No, I'm not trying to defend white folks.
45 seconds.
Now, see, here's another one. Here she want to say something. He said white people collectively. What have the whites done collectively to even the playing field? Not one person. He corrected that question. But she's sitting here trying to stand on Lyndon B. Johnson was a snake. Only person that would have done something was John F. Kennedy. And they killed him. He was going to expose the truth. But they murdered him. Lyndon L.B. Johnson just fell for he knew what they wanted to do. So the main person that was going to do something got killed, which is John F. Kennedy.
So restate the question and give an answer.
Get an answer.
The question was, what has white America done?
Right.
Not individuals. Systematically, you won't even let me finish.
Yeah, because
You're not in love with white folks. You won't even let me finish.
Literally
3 times.
20 seconds.
There is no bigger system than the
20 seconds, I'll finish.
The
And in
US
20
government
seconds,
is-
I would say that the panel that you have here, who are extremely intelligent, do not represent the everyday black man and woman struggles, and then because of that, they cannot articulate.
And you represent 43 million people in this country.
Weekdays on TV One.
See, these are the ignorant black people. These are the ones that got their blindfolds on. These are the ones that stand so firmly on white rhetoric that they will defend their enemy and their slave masters to their grave. And this is nothing new. That is no different than a house nigga, than the straw boss, than any light-skinned, high-yellow nigga that want to be represented and respected by whites are ignorant. People claim to know so much about certain things, but one thing you're not representing is representing blacks as a whole. Yeah, some black people are doing damn good. Excuse me. Too much weed. But they defend them to the utmost. And then talk to you like you don't know nothing what you're talking about. And then play ignorant on one of the things you're trying to bring to a point. And they have nothing to stand on but the same old rhetoric they're going to do on repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's all they're going to do. You can never get an intelligent conversation with people that already have innate beliefs in something that never worked, in something that would never work. Just because a few people can put on a suit and a tie and get in a very important position that your enemy give you for that particular reason. You're not no threat. The other 40 million black, 100 million blacks, or how many blacks that exist in the United States that's living in poverty, that's living in check to check, that's struggling every day. Those millions of people that get tickets, lights cut off, food stamps taken, them the ones that's struggling. And then the uppity niggas that feel like they doing better than everybody else because of choices that they made, not because they just political followers, not because they easy to manipulate, not because them the ones that would easily sell their soul just to make sure that the white people get protected or their system is protected. You are the front runners. You are the one they faces to put on there to go over their agendas and use you to do it. And you have no problem with that, as long as you get the little money you make. Until your time comes. People, I really don't know what to say. But I do say this. If you're tired of this system, if you're tired of getting mistreated, if you're tired of all the bullshit and rhetoric, follow me, subscribe, join, and let's conversate and let's hook up. Because this ignorance have to stop. No matter how many platforms you give a person, no matter how eloquently they speak in their words, they do not mean you any good. They out to destroy you. You hear black people arguing about each other. Beware of them sheep's and wolves' clothing. There's an agenda. And the agenda is to keep you ignorant and to keep us down by any means necessary. It's time that we rise up and gain the power that we once had to straighten everything out. Because we can't do it alone. I can't. And there's plenty of other brothers and sisters that stand behind me. Y'all join the fight. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you, brothers and sisters.